G'day everyone, welcome to Metal Scar Models, and another inbox review. This time it's the Tamiya SAS Land Rover Pink Panther. This kit was issued in 1976. It's looking straight at me on the side of the box. This is another one of Tamiya's old classic kits, something that I've always wanted since I was a kid. I did see a few other people a lot older than me build this when it first came out, and I looked at a few different bits and pieces in the Verlinden books and other Tamiya magazines way before the internet was available for us modelers, so everything was done via books and pen and paper. So yep, I finally got hold of one. Retails here in Australia from Hobby HQ for about $19.95, and it's a great little model kit. So I remember. The box is basically has Japanese writing still on the side, giving you some sort of description, and the old box art, the retro box art with their different releases, which I have got the Centurion tank. Still haven't built. That's in the box. That I'd like to get, and the shooter main battle tank was still a very good model. So I'll open it up. We'll have a look what's inside. Two sets of instructions, one in Japanese, one in English. Two bags of pink plastic. Unbelievable, isn't it? So, first we'll go through and have a look at the instruction sheet in English, of course. My Japanese is not up to standard. So basically telling the history of the Special Air Service Regiment, and showing a couple of the other kits that you can get from Tamiya if I put everything in the camera properly. The LRDG truck, which is another one I've always wanted since I was younger, and the only one that I could afford when I was younger was the little SAS Jeep, which is a wonderful little kit still, and I've got to build it again. So good Tamiya instructions, you can't go wrong. The only thing that I don't like about these instructions is they fold out into look one big thing, so you've got to find room, and I'll bump the camera and God knows everything else. But going through the instructions, and I hope you can see this properly, but we'll start from one. Hang on, I'll fold this one out. This is going to be really bloody detailed. It's going to be absolutely spot on. So it gives you a list of parts down here and where they correspond onto the part sprues A, B, C. The little SAS guy is telling us to read before assembly, study all the instructions, etc, etc, etc. So once you've done all that and you're ready to stick things together, you start off with number 1, step 1, chassis rail, transfer case, gearbox, chassis ends, bumper bars, tow hook, etc., which is pretty easy, and calls out, tells you exactly where things, what colour to paint the parts. So for this sort of kit too, it is fairly detailed. You don't get a full engine, but you do get the bottom of the gearbox, as in the sump, bell housing, and a few other bits and pieces, which I think is quite good anyway. We'll change over the page here and have a look at these instructions. Many of you have probably already built the kit 100 times over. I haven't. This is interesting. I like it. Front diff, swivel hubs, so they articulate full drive. Got constant velocity joints on the inside. Exhaust system, rear diff, that sort of assembly going together. To me, show you a photograph on that side. To make sure that you haven't put anything upside down, you can correspond with that. Wheels and springs and shocks, everything looks like it goes together. It's pretty straightforward. Going onto this page now, showing you fitting seats on the inside, some of the bodywork, bonnet, dash, instruments, compass, clutch and brake pedal, steering wheel, smoke discharges, your headlights. These very interesting looking rifle buckets here on the side. Your driver figure is looking pretty angry and in a real place to go somewhere quick. A couple of notes to fit some other small parts here. Take note of all these little side notes of fixing the bodies to the chassis. Then we have the rear compartment. So we're fitting the rear ute tray onto the back with your discharges, all your different batteries, some seating, tarpaulins, your tread plates. You've got your range finder, legs, and virtually just putting all the little sub-assemblies on. And then the last 2 pages is just the last of the assembly, fitting the Mag 58s, or the FNs, and their stands. We've got fitting the spare wheel on the front, and then a little bit of information about what these parts are, and that's what I like about these instruction sheets, just telling you what these things are. So instead of you just gluing part 58 on the guard, because that's the thing, where it's actually telling you that that is a dust-proof canvas cover and an aluminium holster, and then there's a jack on top for the vehicle. These are smoke discharges. It's telling you they run off electric ignition, which is handy. Your compass, a little bit about the rifle, the light machine guns on the vehicle. It's very, very good. Painting. It says here that you can either paint it in the pink colour. That's where they got their nickname, the Pink Panther, from in the Middle East. But they were used in service in Malaya, Borneo, Aden, Oman, Doha, etc., and in the Persian Gulf. So the standard painting in Europe was overall dark green, but vehicles outside Europe were repainted differently according to operational areas. I have seen these vehicles painted in dark green, still running the sand tyres on them, on a video in the Falls Road in Northern Ireland in the 1970s, where they were using these vehicles to help combat the IRA. So that's another choice you can do. The vehicles on this particular video are really that nice high gloss parade green, but virtually the same thing, virtually the same vehicle. So there's a lot of things you can do with this, and I think it's going to be really good to get the pink. The only thing I have been going through is a few different versions of this pink. Boy, guys, what do you do? It's going to make sand pink up here. You use matte white plus matte red plus buff mixed. So 10 parts of matte white to 1 part red, 2 parts buff gives you that sand pink. I know you can buy the desert pink, but whether it's suitable for this vehicle or not, in the Model Air range of Vallejo. Or you could mix up that colour yourself, which I wouldn't think it'd be that hard to do, but mixing it in a quantity of what you would use this on this kit would be a shame to mix like a whole big pot and never ever use it again. The vehicle's got heaps of potential for weathering, as in chipping and fading with the dark green and then pink over the top. So you could go to really town with the hairbrush, or not the airbrush, what they call it, the hairspray chipping technique, which I think I'm going to try on this, and different layers of pigments and dust. So it's going to be a really, really interesting kit. But that's enough of that. We'll have a look at some parts. Stop raving on. So I'll undo these couple of bags. I haven't looked at these before, and I said I've only seen this example built. So what we have here is sprue number C, which has the tyres. And let me come down here a little bit. And without this bone bouncing around too much. So what we have here is our FN machine guns, our smoke discharges, our rifle buckets, the wheels, the figure for the driver. Just to show you, the wheels are really nicely done. I have got another Land Rover kit here from Italy, which I think's in 1/35 scale, the Eshy one, and I'm positive their wheels aren't deep enough in these rims. These are look very much like Land Rover, a lot better than what Italy do, with that nice bit of riding and the nice tread. The figure is not one of Tamiya's worst. Plenty of detail on the FNs, smoke discharges, everything looks pretty good. A little bit of flash on everything. Yeah, we've got sprue B, the rear compartment, tray, sides, etc. Some seating, the anti-skid plates, the ammo boxes, the camo net, etc., which everything still looks to be quite reasonable. The pink's horrible to look at. Tread plates are nice. There's nice detail. The tail lights here on the back of the tailgate are represented nicely. There's even a bit of in the seats. There's the pattern of the material, which would come up alright. I don't like the way they roll these big chunky camo tarps and stuff like that, but look, dry brushing and washing and stuff would come up well, but all the parts here look really, really good. I'll go to the last sprue. So this has the grille, the chassis, springs, transfer case, water drums, bonnet, etc. Everything looks really, really good. Injector pin marks, of course, under everything underneath. Oops, a daisy. Moulding technology back in the 70s is not like it is today. Injector pin marks right in the middle of the springs here where my finger is, where the spring hanger bolts go through. Or the U-bolts. They're the spring hangers up there. But injector pin marks on the bonnet, but you're not going to display that. I think most of it be hidden. The grille with the Land Rover logo still, which I think would look really, really good coming out with the wash. The transfer case, even though it's got some sink mats on there, and like a seam line running down, it even has the stiffening press marks in the bottom of the plate. See those crisscross lines? And this plug for the sump to drain the oil out of, or to drain the oil out of the transfer case. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for 1970s. The dash, speedometer on that side, then your other gauges, your ampere and oil pressure from memory. Gear stick's got that nice round flattened Land Rover knob on it. If anyone's had a Land Rover, same with all the high and low range. Handbrakes, perfect, looks like a Land Rover. Swivel hubs look good. And that's sprue A, built-in shockies, but I think people can live with that or scratch build your own. Once that's under the car, I don't think too many people are going to be picking it up and having a look at it. The chassis got a few sink marks on the fuel tanks there, but nothing's warped. It all looks good to me, not bad. Couple of minutes so far, looking good. So yeah, sorry about not getting the focus. So that is it. that is the Pink Panther Land Rover by Tamiya. I'm really looking forward to building this kit. I will be doing a build progress log as I go. I've just switched my computer on by accident because this is such a professional channel. In your country, if you can find one of these brand new for 20 bucks, there's no decals in the kit, by the way, either. I couldn't see that. So, no number plate. So for someone who wants to have a go at building a soft skin vehicle and does want to do a car, or you want to have a go at a small project or something pink and you want to try some weathering, grab one of these. Do yourself a favour. So until next time, guys, be safe, model hard, and take care. Thank you to all my new subscribers and old subscribers. I'll be doing a channel update soon anyway on why things have changed. But be good, guys, model hard, go out and get a kit and build it. See ya.